Hello, I'm Javier, and today I'm going to be showing you how to play Elemental Shaman in Season 2 of The War Within. First things first, this is a beginner guide. It will be showing you the absolute correct rotation, etc. and talents. However, it's going to be made more so for beginners. This UI is completely made by me. If you do like it, I do get asked about it a lot. You can get this on my Patreon, and that's another great way if you would like to support the channel. Let's jump straight into it by adding some action bars. And these are the action bars I'm going to show you the rotation on. We will be starting off with the raid rotation. The hero talents will be Farseer. Elemental is the easier of the two DPS rotations for Shaman. Enhancement has always been notably more complex. It's actually quite a simple rotation that we're doing in Season 2 for Elemental. So we're starting off on the left here. This is our top priority. This is our bottom priority. We've got some utilities, etc. here I'm going to go through as well. So we've got our two cooldowns, Stormkeeper and Storm Elemental. We're basically going to use these on cooldown. With your Stormkeeper, you can hold off on it rather than using it absolutely on cooldown if it lines up with your Ascendance. Ascendance is on a 3-minute cooldown, which is another cooldown I will be talking about. So if you can line up your Stormkeeper with that, but only hold off for like 5-10 seconds. Don't hold off for like a whole 30 seconds, a minute, etc. for it. So, Storm Elemental. Calls forth a greater storm elemental to hurl gusts of wind at your enemies. While it's active, casting lightning bolt or chain lightning increases your haste by 4%, stacking up to 4 times. Now this is single target, so we will be using lightning bolt. After that, we're going to again use our Stormkeeper on cooldown. Charge yourself with lightning, causing your next 2 lightning bolts to deal a lot more damage, and also causes your next 2 lightning bolts or chain lightnings to be instant cast and trigger an elemental overload on every target. After that, what we're then going to do is use our Flame Shock, and this is to get the dot up on our target. Dot means damage over time. So you can see on our target, Flame Shock, suffering volcanic damage every few seconds. Just keep that up on your targets at all times. Then we're going to use Primordial Wave, and we're going to use this on cooldown. Blasts all targets affected by your Flame Shock with a Primordial Wave, dealing damage and granting you Lava Surge. Lava Surge is a proc to your Lava Burst here. More on that shortly. The next thing in the rotation is to use Ascendance. Now, we only want to use this if we have a buff called Splintered Elements active. I'm just going to wait for Primordial Wave to come off cooldown, because Splintered Elements is here. Haste is increased by 10%, and that is after you use your Primordial Wave. So always use your Primordial Wave and then your Ascendance. We transform into a Flame Ascendant, instantly casting Flame Shock and Lava Burst at up to 6 nearby enemies. Elemental Overload damage is increased, and spells affected by your Mastery have an additional Elemental Overload. So at this point, you're hearing me use the words Elemental Overload quite a few times. Well, what is it? That's our Mastery here. Increases all elemental and physical damage. Your Lightning Bolt, Ice Fury, Lava Burst, and Chain Lightning have a chance to trigger a second cast on the same target, dealing 35% of normal damage and generating less Maelstrom. So what is Maelstrom? Well, that's this resource here that I'm building up. It's going to basically go up and up as we go on throughout the rotation, and then we can spend that on our next spell, which is Earth Shock. Generally, what I would say is to use your Earth Shock if you are basically about 15 or less away from capping out. You can see I've got 125 Maelstrom here. That is my cap. Use it if you are near that cap, okay? And that's how we're basically spending our Maelstrom. It is with Earth Shock. The next one we have, you can now see at the moment, is Ice Fury. And this is fantastic. I want you to use Ice Fury if you don't have another buff up, which is called Fusion of the Elements. So when I use... Oh, it's now Frost Shock. So now that it's gone to Frost Shock again, what I'm going to show you is basically just it in the talents. So we have Ice Fury here. Casting Lightning Bolt, Lava Burst, or Chain Lightning has a chance to replace your Frost Shock with Ice Fury. Ice Fury hurls frigid ice at the target, dealing damage, and causes your next Frost Shock to deal a lot more damage. Damages 4 additional targets and generates more Maelstrom. And then below it, we have Fusion of the Elements, which is when I want you to use Ice Fury. So to be clear, use Ice Fury if you do not have Fusion of Elements. After casting Ice Fury, the next time you cast a damaging spell, you additionally cast an Elemental Blast at your target at 60% effectiveness. So basically, whenever it turns to Ice Fury, use it, but only down here in the priority list. Don't go, oh my god, it's procced, and suddenly it's a higher priority than your Storm Elemental. Remember, this is the top priority, and this is the bottom priority. If it's starting to sound overwhelming, don't worry, I'm going to go through this a few times and really break it down for you guys as a beginner guide. After that, we're casting Lava Burst. Sometimes you will get an instant Lava Burst when it procs. Still use it here in the rotation. And then after that, use Lightning Bolt if you've got nothing else to press. So, to go through it one more time, Storm... Let's just wait for it to come off cooldown so we can see it properly. It's going to be Storm Elemental and Stormkeeper on cooldown. Keep up your Flame Shock on your target at all time. Use Primordial Wave on cooldown and then use your Ascendant. Use these together. Use your Earth Shock when you're nearly capping out on Maelstrom. Use Ice Fury to get the Fusion of Elements buff up whenever it procs. Use Lava Burst whenever you have it. And then use Lightning Bolt if you have basically nothing else to press. And that is pretty much the... rotation that you're going to be doing as a elemental shaman here. And that is pretty much it, guys. That is really how easy it is to play elemental shaman in Season 2 of The War Within. For single target, at least. So let's go over the talents underpinning the single target rotation. And then what we'll do is we will go through the Mythic Plus rotation as well. So we're only going to go through the important talents here. Casting your Lava Burst increases the damage of your next spell by 15%. While a Storm Elemental is active, which is of course from your cooldowns, your nature damage is increased, and while a Fire Elemental is active, your fire damage is increased. We currently are using a Storm Elemental. We've spoken about the Ice Fury and Fusion of Elements talents. Your next Chain Lightning or Lightning Bolt has a chance... has a 30% reduced cast time after casting Earth Shock. So when you use Earth Shock, your next Lightning Bolt will actually be a lot quicker. Elemental Fury increases critical strike damage by an additional amount. Increases the duration of your elements here, so they last even longer. Casting Lava Burst has a chance to cause your next Lightning Bolt to trigger an Elemental Overload an additional time, stacking up to 2 times. So more free procs of spells, basically. While Lightning Shield is active, your nature damage dealt is increased by 8%. So probably a good time to go through these now. You have a few buffs you can use as a shaman. Flame Tongue Weapon, imbue your weapon with the elements of fire, causing each of your attacks to deal additional fire damage. And then we have 2 shields we can have up on ourselves, Lightning Shield and Earth Shield. Earth Shield increases your healing on the target, and, well, yourself, and healing them when they take damage. So you can have this on yourself and also somebody else. You could put this on the tank if there's, or somebody that's taking a lot of damage if you wish to help out. Earth Shield can only be placed on the shaman and one other target, but the shaman can have 2 elemental shields. So we also use Lightning Shield at the same time. Melee damage will cause you to generate some Maelstrom, etc. But that isn't really why we're doing it. We're doing it because of the talent that I just showed you. And then we have Sky Fury, where basically everyone in your party and raid gets 2% mastery and empowers their auto attacks to have a chance to instantly strike again. So keep that buff up on everyone at all times. You only have to press it once. And remember, when you have your Lightning Shield active, you're going to be doing more damage. Dealing Fire, Frost, and Nature damage within 10 seconds will increase all damage dealt by 10% for 10 seconds. This can only occur once every 30 seconds. And with this rotation, we will be doing sort of Fire, Frost, and Nature. Earth Shock, Lava Burst, Ice Fury, Lightning Bolt. You know, these are the free ones here, so this is going to be happening passively without you having to worry about it. Earth Shock can trigger your Mastery at 50% effectiveness. Your haste is increased while Ascendance is active and its duration is increased a little bit. Primordial Wave grants you 10% haste plus 4% for each additional target affected by Primordial Wave. So Primordial Wave also gives you that benefit. And your Earth, Fire and Storm Elementals are drawn from Primal Elementals, 80% more powerful than regular ones with additional abilities, and you gain direct control over them. Apart from that, we have the Farseer hero talents. I'm just going to go through the Keystone talents because it does include a little other spell we're going to be using. Primordial Wave calls an ancestor to your side. Whenever you cast a healing or damaging spell, the ancestor will cast a similar spell. So whenever you use your Primordial Wave, this is going to basically tap into all of the hero talents, which again is this spell here. These talents will pretty much just enhance these things with your ancestors, etc. And then we also on a 30-second cooldown get Ancestral Swiftness. Your next healing or damaging spell is instant, costs no mana, and deals more damage and healing. If you know Nature Swiftness, it's replaced by this, and it will also call an ancestor to your side to help you. So just use that on cooldown. It's another quick cooldown that we have, and that one is here. A lot of our spells are instant. Lava Burst isn't. And it's pretty much the only one with Lightning Bolt that isn't actually instant that you're using here, apart from, of course, Stormkeeper. So just use Ancestral Swiftness on cooldown and just use your rotation as normal. And that is it for the single target rotation. For the Mythic Plus side of things, the rotation is pretty similar. In fact, I'd even say it's simpler. You use your Storm Elemental and you use your Stormkeeper and Ascendant on cooldown. However, we have a new buff in town, and that is because in the Mythic Plus build, we are going with Stormbringer. So the number one keystone talent is Tempest. Every 300 Maelstrom that you spend replaces your next lightning bolt with Tempest, which calls down a tremendous lightning strike that deals nature damage to your target and everyone nearby. Because of course in Mythic Plus we're doing more AoE damage with all the trash, etc. And then the last one is that Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning have a chance to strike your target every 3 times it occurs. Your next Lightning Bolt is replaced by Tempest. And everything in the middle increases your Tempest and Lightning, etc. So basically, you see Lightning Bolt here, which is a single target spell. Only use this when it turns into Tempest, okay? So whenever you see it turn into Tempest, that is when we're going to be using... Here you go. So use Storm Elemental, use Stormkeeper, use Ascendants, and then whenever you see Tempest here, use Tempest on cooldown. For spending our Maelstrom, it's actually going to be Earthquake, and use this pretty much the same way. To avoid capping out on Maelstrom, etc., use Earthquake. Instead of Earthshock, this is basically an AoE version. Causes the earth within 8 yards of your target to tremble and break, doing damage over 6 seconds, and a chance to knock enemies down. Multiple uses may overlap. One thing to note is you do have 2 options for Earthquake. One is actually cast at your target. So if you're targeting an enemy, it'll just target your Earthquake wherever that enemy is standing. Or the second one, you can actually place it wherever you like. And it's entirely up to you which one you press. I always just go for the one at my target because it is less brain power to use and kind of just makes sense in my opinion. Then we're going to be using Chain Lightning pretty much as our kind of filler spell, which is obviously just Chain Lightning, hitting multiple enemies. And whenever you're on the move, I don't know why I said it like that. Whenever you're on the move, use your Frost Shock or Ice Fury. The reason being it's instant, so you can use it, well, on the move. We do have Nature's Swiftness. Instead of the Ancestral version, this is the one we have that makes your next spell instant cast, and I would be using this on Chain Lightning pretty much. So you can use that on cooldown as well with that. Apart from that, a few of the talents are changing in Mythic Plus. Obviously, the hero talents are changing. So we're getting a few changes here. One is that rather than Earthshock, we have Elemental Blast. Tempest, Earthshock, Elemental Blast, and Earthquake make your target a Lightning Rod. Lightning Rods take 12% of all damage you deal. And then we have increases the duration of Lightning Rods. The Lightning Rod's quite interesting. And then we also have Prenissance, where your haste is increased while Ascendance is active and its duration. Oh no, I think we already had that talent, sorry. And then we go with Stormbringer. But that's pretty much all that is really changing. We do have a lot of utilities available to us as a Shaman, and this is going to be even more important in Mythic Plus because you need to be interrupting a lot more and stunning enemies and all of this. One big cooldown I haven't spoken about is Bloodlust, of course, increasing haste for everyone in your party and raid, your raid leader or group leader, or talk with your group to see when best to use this, as it's the biggest cooldown in the game. Defensives, we have Astral Shift on a 1.5 minute cooldown, reducing damage taken. We have a lot of totems that we can use, like Capacitor Totem. This will stun enemies after a few seconds. Cleanse Spirit removes all curse effects from a friendly target. You can help out your healer here. Earth Elemental will increase your health, and it will kind of help protect you and your allies. Earthbind Totem slows enemies within X amount of yards from it. Ghost Wolf, you can use this whenever you want, inside, outside, it should work absolutely fine, increasing your speed by 30%, which is amazing, and it prevents you from being slowed below 100%, so below your normal speed as well. It's an amazing speed buff that we can use. We can Hexite enemies for an entire minute, basically shapeshifting them and polymorphing them so they're useless. Lightning Lasso stuns your target and does a little bit of damage. Poison Cleansing Totem. This is amazing. It's a 2-minute cooldown, but basically you put it at your feet and it will remove all poison effects of nearby party and raid members every 1.5 seconds. So if there's a boss you're fighting where there's tons and tons of poison damage, this is just going to keep removing it, which is so nice. It's really going to help out your healer. Purge will remove a beneficial effect from your enemies. Spirit Walker's Grace permits movement while casting your Shaman spells, so you can actually cast all of your spells on the move, like Chain Lightning. Stone Bulwark's Totem, again on a cooldown, grants you an Absorb Shield, absorbing loads and loads of damage. Water Walking, you can walk on water. Thunderstorm, reducing movement speed and knocking them upwards to enemies. And Wind Shear, very important. This is your Interrupt. Interrupts the target's spellcasting, only on a 12-second cooldown. Especially in Mythic Plus, you should be using this absolutely on cooldown, interrupting your enemy spells, because that can be life or death. And that is it, guys. That is how you play Elemental Shaman in The War Within Season 2. Again, if you would like my UI, of course, ignoring these two massive cast bars, action bars in the middle here, this is all custom made by me using Elf UI, details, Voodoo, etc. And you can get this on my Patreon, which is also, of course, help support the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. I do actually do quite a lot on this channel. As you can see, I do every single spec. I've done War Within PvP guides. You can see here, Season 1, 65 videos. I do every single spec, every single season. Pre-patch guides I do as well. I do WoW Classic and Cataclysm as well. I'll be doing Mr. Pandaria if you play that. I do also run the Javi Herobrine channel. If you're also into other games, this is my Minecraft channel. Do check this one out. It's all for modded Minecraft, and I teach everyone how to play mods in there. And I do also have my new channel, Javi How To, which I've repurposed into a variety gaming guides channel. So do check out this one if you're looking for all of the latest releasing games and how to get guides on those.